And we start off with breaking news coming in from the United Nations Security Council has now listed Pakistan-based terrorist Abdul Rahman Makki as a global terrorist under its ISIL, that's Daesh and Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee. This listing comes after China last year put on India's bid to name the Lashkar-e-Taiba leader a global terrorist. In June 2022, India slammed China after it blocked the proposal to list this terrorist, that's terrorist Abdul Rahman Makki, under the United Nations Security Council's Sanctions Committee, also known as the UNSC 1267 Committee. On the 16th of January 2023, the Security Council Committee, pursuant to resolutions 1267, 1999 to 1989, 2011 and 2253, that's 2015, concerning ISIL, Daesh, Al-Qaeda and associated individuals, groups, undertakings and entities. The big news of the hour is that Abdul Rahman Makki has been listed by the UN, that's the United Nations, as a terrorist, as a global terrorist. And this has been done almost a year after China had blocked India's earlier attempt to achieve this at the UN Security Council. So Abdul Rahman Makki be declared as a global terrorist now by the United Nations. He is a Pakistan terrorist with strong links to ISIL and to the LET. We're trying to get more voices on this major breaking story. Abdul Rahman Makki listed as a global terrorist by the United Nations. Thus, the United Nations Security Council has listed Pakistan-based terrorist Abdul Rahman Makki as a global terrorist. And joining us is Gaurav Arya, Major Gaurav Arya, on the phone line to take us through this development and its significance. Gaurav, it's over to you to tell us the significance of the naming by the United Nations Security Council of the Pakistan-based terrorist Abdul Rahman Makki as a global terrorist.
You see, Abdul Rahman Makki is actually the brother-in-law of, Hafiz Saeed. So he's related to the chief of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, and this is a very big news because, he's been responsible for funding, organizing, training, providing logistic support to much of the terrorism that is going on in Kashmir. So this person, Makki, has now been put in the dock. He's been sanctioned by the United Nations, and let's see how how they can twist Pakistan's arm to ensure that Makki does not find any safe place. He's from Bahawalpur, and it is important to mention he's from Bahawalpur because all these people, all the terrorist outfits that work against India, except for the Hizbul Mujahideen, they're all Punjab-based. So there is no terrorist outfit which is Sindh-based or Khyber Pakhtunkhwa-based that is working in Kashmir or that is terrorizing people in Kashmir. It is basically Pakistani Punjab, and this person is also from Bahawalpur, brother-in-law of Hafiz Saeed, and it comes as a great relief. Now let's see how Pakistan reacts to this. This is just something that UN has done, but let's see how Pakistan reacts to it.
When you say that, Major Arya, how much teeth does such a listing have? Would there be sanctions on him? Would there be some restrictions on him? Would his assets be freezed? Can that kind of action be expected?
Yes, absolutely. That is the first thing that happens. Freeze the assets, freeze everything related to him. People who have relations with this person in terms of business relations, which can be traced back to anything financial, which has something to do with terror and also, yes, definitely. This is again, slap on Pakistan's face. But the problem is that Pakistan, the common Pakistani psyche is that these people are revered inside Pakistan. They're treated as heroes. So that is one thing that we must be cognizant of. Also, the fact that he must be extradited. It is not only sufficient that he is sanctioned by the United Nations. India must sort of push for extraditing all these people, whether it's Dawood Ibrahim, whether it's Makki, whether it's Hafiz Saeed or Masood Azhar. and all these people who are there in Pakistan who have been in terrorist and disruptive activities against India. Extradite them and face trial in India. I think that should be our aim. Pakistan is hiding these people, and these people are state guests inside Pakistan. They have five-star facilities inside Pakistan. They're national heroes. And Parvez Musharraf, he's on record. You can see his video on YouTube. Parvez Musharraf speaking to famous Pakistani journalist Wajahat Khan, in which he says that Osama bin Laden हमारा hero है, Lashkar-e-Taiba wale हमारे hero हैं, Hafiz Saeed हमारा hero है. This is what they say. So you're dealing with a nation like that.
Right. Major Arya, when we talk about, Pakistan's attitude towards, the fact that so many global terrorists are found taking shelter in on Pakistani soil, doesn't that affect the Pakistani government and the kind of face it's trying to put forward for years, presenting itself as a victim of terrorism? And from India's point of view, can we say that this is a major victory after China having blocked us the way it has done earlier?
No, absolutely. I think you're right. You've hit the nail on the head. But I don't think it matters much to Pakistan, you see, because this is Pakistan's domestic industry. Terrorism is something that Pakistan does. Terrorism is how it blackmails the world. Otherwise, tell me of one thing that Pakistan produces or manufactures, apart from very cheap shirts and towels and all that. Pakistan has no industry to speak of. They just assemble some automobiles, after having imported the parts, and that too has stopped in Pakistan. Pakistan does absolutely nothing. That state, for 75 years of its existence, has only been taking advantage of its geopolitical presence. That's it. And using terrorism as a tool of foreign policy. This is what Pakistan does. This is a force multiplier.
Many thanks.
You see, what? Yes.
Right. Right, please continue, sir.
Yeah, so this is supposed to be a force multiplier. The Pakistanis think of this as a force multiplier. The Pakistanis don't think of this as an embarrassment.
Thanks, Major Gaurav Arya, for joining us. Joining us now on the phone line once again is Major General retired P.K. Sehgal. Major General Sehgal, your reactions. Abdul Rahman Makki, brother of Hafiz Saeed, has been declared a global terrorist by the UN Security Council. How do you respond to this as a big relief for India?
Such a diplomatic and a political coup that is carried out by India is a huge victory for India. And it clearly indicates the growing clout of India politically and its relevance for India worldwide. That notwithstanding, he's been a mastermind of the Mumbai attack and has been roaming free for the last 15 and a half years, knowing fully well that he's a terrorist. Pakistan will take no action whatsoever, and he will continue to enjoy the freedom that he enjoys today. It's very unfortunate, since now he's been declared global terrorist. India must appeal to all the other countries that they must do so what they did to bin Laden. Bin Laden was continuously being tracked till he was eventually taken care of. And this gentleman also must be brought to book sooner than later. India by herself may not have the necessary capability to undertake this mission. So there were 6 Americans who were also killed, and there were some Israelis also who were killed. So it has to be a joint operation conducted by Israel, India, and America, sharing of intelligence resources, and he must be liquidated at all costs, so that a right message is sent to Pakistan that the world will not tolerate the type of terrorism that continues to emanate from Pakistan. Should there not be a coercive or joint action by the concerned countries, Pakistan under no circumstances, I repeat, under no circumstances will take any action against him whatsoever.
Many thanks, Major General Sehgal, for joining us there and for sharing your thoughts with us. So, as we've been breaking news, this news of the United Nations Security Council listing Pakistan-based terrorist Abdul Rahman Makki as a global terrorist. A massive development there, a huge diplomatic victory for India. Let's listen in to more reactions coming in.
These two close relatives, Hafiz Saeed and his brother-in-law, Abdul Rahman Makki, they are the main kingpin of the terror activities, especially in Jammu and Kashmir area. They belong to Lashkar-e-Taiba, which is which is ideologically committed to promote terrorism, and they belong to Ahl Hadith doctrine, which is a very extremist Islamic view they have. These two persons, were responsible for conducting hundreds of militant operations in Jammu and Kashmir